In the headlines, INEC says political parties have 1 month to conduct elections. Supreme Court opposed Governor Ganduje faction of the All Progressive Congress. 15 killed in Katsina boat mishap. And White House names first black press secretary. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and a warm welcome. National Electoral Commission INEC has reminded political parties that they have 1 month from Thursday, May 5th, 2022 to conclude their primaries, while reminding political parties the deadline remains Friday, 3rd June 2022. The Commission urged them to ensure rancor-free and transparent exercise, noting that the deadline is firm and fixed. It maintained that nominations for presidential and National Assembly elections shall be submitted through the INEC web portal from 10th to 17th June 2022, while governorship and state houses of assembly nominations shall be submitted between 1st and 15th July 2022. INEC further reminded parties that they must submit to the Commission the list of candidates who must have emerged from valid primaries. The Commission assured that it would continue to work with political parties to ensure fidelity to the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and the timelines for all the activities contained in the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2023 general elections. The Supreme Court has upheld the Governor Abdullahi Ganduje faction of the All Progressive Congress APC in Kano State against the party's faction loyal to former Governor Ibrahim Shekarau. In a unanimous decision of the 5-member panel of the justices read by Justice Iyango Koro on Friday, the Apex Court held that the appeal against the earlier judgments of the Court of Appeal in Abuja lacked merit and is dismissed. The court further ruled that the 2 other appeals in the matter would abide by the decision. The Court of Appeal had in February dismissed the 3 panels. Appeals, also held that the originating summons were wrongly commenced in Abuja, adding that the matter was an internal affair of the party. The appeals followed the 2 rulings of an FCT High Court in 2021, which upheld the ward and local government congresses believed to have been won by the faction loyal to Shekarau and Senator Jibril Barrow, Kano North, numbering about over 17,000 and 1,319 members, respectively. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday commended Governor Dave Umaru for the quality of projects in Ebonyi State, saying he is not surprised at the standard of work because of the 2-time governor is an engineer of repute. The president commenced his 2-day visit to the state with the commissioning of projects at the state-owned King David University of Medical Sciences, Umaru. Kainde Amodu reports.
The projects inaugurated by the president include a 700-meter twin flyover constructed at the cost of 2 billion naira by the state government. The flyover is at the end of a 12-kilometer dualized federal road from Mbu, Enugu State to Uburu in Ebonyi State. The president also inaugurated the cancer center at the King David University of Medical Sciences, built and equipped by the federal government under TET Fund. President Buhari is impressed with the projects, which he believes will last because of their quality. The president also inaugurated the 5-kilometer dualized airport road in Onueke, built by the state government, as well as the reconstructed St. Margaret Umahi International Market Complex. The tarmac and runway of the Muhammadu Buhari International Airport Onueke has attained over 70% completion and is expected to be ready by the end of next month. President Buhari, who will be hosted to state dinner by the Ebonyi State government on Thursday night, will also inaugurate the Muhammadu Buhari Light Tunnel Flyover and Ebonyi Shopping Mall.
I have noted the significant projects executed by Your Excellency in the last 7 years. You have done your people proud. I am pleased by the economic development records of the state under your administration, the wonderful network of roads, critical infrastructure, and investment opportunities that have created that have created in the state.
The president has approved, I told you while I was in the villa, it's not left for the scope to fix dates. And I'm waiting once the exact date is given to me, and we are good to go. Two major projects and their signature projects. The Owerri-Olo road is an express road, federal government road, that we be able to build and completed since I assumed office. Has started by my administration, completed by my administration. Owerri to Okigwe, the same thing, 59-kilometer roads. Owerri to Olo, 37 kilometers dualized. That's 37 by 2, and it's massive. And by a construction giant, Kremborg, you know, is a world-class company, and the quality of job delivered first class. So it will be my honor to invite Mr. President to begin to see what some of us who are his boys are doing, so that he will come down and commission the project and see that really under his watch that democracy is working.
The president will conclude his visit to Ebonyi State with closed-door meetings with Southeast leaders in Abakaliki before departing for Abuja on Friday. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has picked the 100 million naira nomination and expression of interest forms of the ruling All Progressive Congress, the APC. Senator Kabiru Gaya, one of the leaders of Osinbajo's campaign, picked up the forms on behalf of the nation's number 2 man on Thursday. Osinbajo, who joined the presidential race last month, has been going round the country to consult delegates ahead of the primaries, which will hold at the end of this month.
I believe it's a matter of give and take. We have served for the president in this country for 8 years under the leadership of President Buhari. So therefore the presidency should go to the south. And that's why we said the best able person to handle this matter is somebody who has been in the system. If he's sworn in today at the Eagle Square, by tomorrow morning he can pick up because he's already in the system.
Now, Pastor Tunde Bakare of the Citadel Global Community Church has picked the All Progressive Congress APC expression of interest and nomination forms for the presidency. Bakare picked the forms in Abuja on Thursday. Now, back in September 2019, the clergyman said God told him he would succeed President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023. In April 2022, Bakare said he was the most suitable Nigerian to address the problems bedeviling the country. The likes of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Bola Tinubu, Nwajiba, and the Minister of State for Education have all picked the aspiration forms for the party.
Those who love truly our people, especially the poor, will rise to fix our nation. Many people run in the race. Only one will take the crown. There's only one seat. Whoever takes it, the rest of us must rise and join the person to build. East, west, north, south. Nigeria is my home. Thank you.
Former governor of Ogun, Musa, on Thursday officially declared to run for president in 2023. He made the declaration in Abuja. Ekiti State Governor Kaide Fayemi attended the declaration event. Now, Senator Musa unveiled an 8-point agenda through which, if elected, is expected to transform the country's fortunes.
Project of national revival and revitalization that all Nigerians crave for, to be the administrative instrument that turn our national story from one about potentials to one about actualities. To be the president that takes all the various setbacks and victories, the despair and jubilation that compose the calendar of our national history, and turn them all into elements of our collective national glory. A rendezvous with history is in the horizon. The sacred task of marshalling all our energies to achieve our national destiny is at hand. Let us embrace this eagerness. Let us embrace this with eagerness and courage. Assured of the infinite grace of God, convinced about the actualization of the potential greatness of our country, and confident about my vision and capacity to lead this country, I, Senator Ibikunle Oyelaja Oluwatoyin Akanwo Durorike Mohammed Iklil, do ask you, my dear compatriots, particularly members of our great party, the All Progressive Congress, to support my bid for the presidential ticket of our great party APC. and ultimately the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God bless you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Now, over 70 million prospective voters in Nigeria head to next year's polls to elect leaders at various tiers of government. The nation's electoral space is witnessing a monumental shift from conventional media campaigns as politicians are embracing the social media space to engage the electorate. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman takes a look at this new approach and its impact on electioneering.
The advent of new media or social media powered by information communication technology (ICT) in the early 21st century has changed the dynamics of social interaction amongst people. The availability of social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp now provides an opportunity for politicians seeking people's mandate to market themselves with relative ease. How has this innovation affected politics and electioneering in Nigeria?
It has now provided alternate platforms for them to reach out to their various constituencies. Now they can do a lot more communication with their constituency, with the electorate.
There are over 90 million active users in Nigeria on WhatsApp alone, according to a 2021 survey, while active subscribers on other social media platforms are hitting about 33 million. With a voting population of over 84 million and still counting, smart politicians only need to explore the nexus between social media and political engagement. But how are the teeming internet-savvy unemployed youths taking advantage of the internet revolution?
Thus, we believe and we are full of confidence that what we do on the social media to get the message of our principle out to the world will be efficient.
We use so many fora. We use the Facebook, we use WhatsApp pages, we use the Twitter, we use Instagram and all those areas because mostly the youths are always 24 hours on those media.
To politicians with shallow pockets and weak financial muscle, the social media platforms could provide some sort of relief in dealing with huge campaign spendings.
Cost of using a new media platform is cheaper than if you to use newspaper or even the television, because you work with a media house, you know how much you charge for 30 seconds or 1 minute, or if you want to do live coverage.
As the growing social media engagement trend presents both opportunity and threats to developing democracies, there are grave concerns on its usage in effective leadership recruitment in the face of governance deficit in the country. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up. 12 years after, Nigerians remember late President Yara. Details of this after the break. Do stay.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. Our top stories. INEC says political parties have 1 month to conduct elections. Supreme Court opposed Governor Ganduje faction of the All Progressive Congress. Moving on, 15 people have been killed after a boat capsized at a river located in Mayadwa local government area of Katsina State. The incident, according to an eyewitness, occurred on Wednesday at about 11 p.m. when the canoe conveying an undisclosed number of passengers capsized and killed 15 people on board. Reports say funeral prayers were conducted for the victims on Thursday at about 7:30 a.m. at Zabu town in Mayadwa local government area of the state. The State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Umaru was among the dignitaries that attended the funeral service of the victims. He used the opportunity to commiserate with families of the deceased. The police in Katsina State has uncovered a human trafficking syndicate and rescued 12 victims on their way to Libya. The victims were rescued at Kalgo village of Daura local government area of Katsina State. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
Human trafficking is still very much in operations and knows no boundaries within Nigeria. For instance, these victims are mostly female between the ages of 14 to 35 and are from southern Nigeria.
I rescued the following victims: Madinat Adekeje, female age 39 years of Kwara State; Aminat Kazim, female age 25 years of Oyo State; Orobore Francis, male age 21 years of Edo State; Mike Emuabon, male age 22 years of Edo State; Oladoke Ohunoma, female age 33 years of Edo State; Elizabeth Idimudia, female age 16 years of Edo State; Fatima Ibrahim, female age 25 years of Osun State.
The victims were kept in a house of one Yahya Dahiru Kalgwandaura, who is at large, while efforts are ongoing by the police to arrest him.
The person that is taking you there, okay, how much are you going to pay him?
No, she said I will pay only 1 year.
You will work for 1 year?
Yeah.
Then she will collect the money?
Yeah.
But do you know that going to that place without government approval, without going through the necessary immigration procedures, do you know that it's an offense?
I don't know, because she told me that there's no name to go to Libya. That's why you say it's only way to Libya is the road. That is one.
Police Public Relations Officer of the Katsina Command, SP Gambo Isa, is promising that the perpetrators will be arrested and brought to book in due course.
As far as I go there, how much are you going to pay? I will pay like 250. Then you will start working on your ways now. Do you have a traveling document with you? If you are traveling to another country, you must possess passport, papers.
I send the money, so they want to do Electoral passport for me.
Do you have it?
I send the money to her, but you think they can maybe...
But you can't travel without having the passport in your possession.
I've not given it to myself, that I go to there, before you give me the passport, no problem. I sent the money, send everything to her, so that we do everything.
Are you aware of what is happening in Libya?
Similarly, the police said the suspects will be handed over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP.
The command is making frantic efforts to arrest the owner of the house, one Yahya Dahiru, male of Kalgo village, Daura, the house where these victims were rescued, and also the driver who took them into that dwelling house, one Masoud Dusha, male of Ankara village, Meadwa local government area. Investigation is ongoing.
The police is urging the public to continue to synergize with the relevant authorities to track down criminals in Katsina State. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina. And
in a very heartwarming piece, 12 years after the late President Umaru Musa died while still in office, Nigerians still remember him as a man of integrity and a unifier they never had enough of. President Yara was elected as the Nigerian president in 2007 and died on the 5th of May 2010 at the age of 56. Nana Muhammad tells us more.
I am fully confident that I am going to win this election by the grace of God.
The death of President Umaru Musa in 2010 came to many as a shock, but to others it was expected due to his prolonged ailment and frequent hospital visits. Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan wrote a heartwarming message on his official Twitter handle in memory of his late boss, whom he described as a selfless leader, peacemaker, soldier of truth, and a true Democrat who was a servant leader and a good man. To some Nigerians, late Yaradua was the hope not only for Nigeria as a nation, but for the African continent.
I remember our late president, Umaru Musa Yaradua, as a man of peace, as a man of integrity, a patriot and a committed Democrat. And he demonstrated these attributes through his policies, his programs, and the directive principle of his administration. He brought healing, and I mean national healing, to this country.
From Kwara, Kaduna, and Kano, some Nigerians sent in some heartwarming messages.
The country will know that you miss a leader who can call a spade, a leader who came out openly that the election that brought me into power is faulty. That's a leader, because he will be able to tell you exactly what is white instead of calling it black.
Let Umaru Musa Yaradua, our blessed memory, cannot be easily forgotten. This is because of his, I will say his attempt to review, to readdress the problems that seems to bedouble this country.
My brother, you agree with me that even our educational system was okay. The issue of strike and all this that is happening now was not there. Fuel, how much are we buying fuel that very time per liter compared to now? Light and everything were stable. Even this insecurity thing, he came out wholeheartedly to make sure that he cleared those things before God took him away. May his soul rest in peace.
He was a great leader, and Nigerians miss him because he had the fear of God and the principle of rule of law.
His death was mourned by thousands of Nigerians who believe that the situation in Nigeria today would have been different with a compassionate leader like the late president.
Now, similarly, 12 years after his death, Nigerians in his home state of Katsina have continued to speak about his leadership qualities. Some of his close associates, those who worked with him, describe him as a humble leader.
President Umaru Musa Yaradua was declared winner of the presidential election which held on April 21, 2007. He died in 2010 after spending barely 3 years in office. But since then, his legacy and doctrines have continued to resonate in the hearts of many. Right from his inauguration on May 29, 2007, Nigerians will be treated to a new kind of leadership. Well, Katsina State had been fortunate to experience that kind of leadership for 8 years before the man Yaradua became president.
My first relation with him is a friendship. Then he became my leader. We argue, but we are always together. Nobody knows about us. Umaru is a gentle person and honest person. Umaru never lie. Umaru never steal like other governors. Most of governors are thieves. Umaru is not a thief.
The 7 points agenda are still fresh in our minds, and the return of peace in the Niger Delta region were part of his achievements. He was a great thinker. Most great leaders are great thinkers. Umaru thought about the nation above himself.
Those who served directly with him will always remember him as a peacemaker and nation builder.
He was indeed a leader
which is very rare to find nowadays. The most important things he did is he fought seriously against social evils, social injustice. He was a man of integrity, and he believes in the rules of law.
Had it been let Umaru Yar'Adua survived up to this period, you wouldn't have seen Nigeria of this kind. All these clowns that are parading streets and roads, claiming to be politicians of this century, wouldn't have been there to even be mentioned for the first time.
The deceased president is fondly remembered today by Nigerians who strongly feel that leaders can borrow something from the past.
Very straightforward person, very simple in everything he do. He doesn't tell lies. He is always a good listener for people who are coming to talk to him. He comments very little. And that's what he wants to comment it on, must be straightforward and true.
The country's rulers might not live in the past, but can emulate a democrat whose timeline was defined by virtues of good service.
Indeed, Yar'Adua will be deeply remembered. Now in business, the Nigerian equities market on Thursday closed higher, sustained by gains in MTN Nigeria, Airtel Africa and 30 other stocks, as the all-share index closed by 1.42% to stand at over 50,000 points. The market capitalization, which closed at 27.406 trillion, grew by 382 billion. The market breadth closed positive as 32 stocks gained against 22 stocks that declined in their share prices. Aggregate volume closed at 462.6 million units in over 6,801 deals valued at 8.3 billion. And on the foreign scene, President Biden has named Karine Jean-Pierre as his new top spokesperson, the first time a black or openly gay person has held the role. Jean-Pierre has served as the administration's principal deputy press secretary since Biden was elected. She will replace outgoing press secretary Jen Psaki in the top role at the end of next week. She joins the league of other prominent black people holding prominent roles, such as Vice President Kamala Harris, incoming Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, Domestic Policy Council Chair Susan Rice, UN Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield, and a handful of other officials and judges. The White House press secretary is the presidential administration's face to the national media and, by extension, to the country and the world. And that's it on News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thanks for your time and company.